Dear children, you have already learned the features of receipts and payments account. Let us solve one problem in receipts and payments account. Before solving the problem, let me explain steps in preparation of receipts and payments account. Format of receipts and payments account is given here. It is an account, so show the abbreviation of debit and credit. DR on the debit side, your left hand side, and CR credit on the right hand side. Then write the title, receipts and payments account of, then write the name of the businessman. For the year ending, write the closing date accounting year. Okay, then this receipts and payments account begins with the opening balance of cash and bank. That means first we should record the opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank on the debit side as to balance brought down. Okay children, what is? Record the opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank on the debit side as to balance brought down. Okay, children, note the point. Record the favorable bank balance on the debit side. If there is any unfavorable bank balance, what is unfavorable bank balance? Overdraft balance. Okay, overdraft, that means the credit balance of bank account will be recorded on the credit side as by balance brought down. Okay children, understood? What is? First, record the opening balances of cash in hand and favorable bank balance on the debit side as to balance brought down. If there is any unfavorable bank balance, that means overdraft, that should be recorded on the credit side as by balance brought down. Okay. Then, next step. Actual cash receipts during the year are recorded on the debit side and actual cash payments are recorded on the credit side. What is? Actual cash receipts are recorded on the debit side and actual cash payments during the year are recorded on the credit side. Children, all receipts and payments are classified under appropriate heading. See the format. Debit side. All receipts are on the debit side. These receipts are classified under appropriate heading. What is that first heading? Revenue receipts. What is it? Recurring receipts. Okay. What are the revenue receipts? You already learnt about these revenue receipts, revenue expenditure in the previous class. What are the revenue receipts? Subscription, entrance fees received, general donations, grant in aid, sale of old newspaper, interest on investment, dividend, locker rent received, then sundry receipts. Sundry receipts means many other receipts. Okay. Then capital receipt. What are the capital receipts? Life membership fees, donation for specific purpose, then legacies, endowment fund, sale of fixed asset, sale of investment, receipts for specific purpose fund, interest on specific fund investment. These are the receipts. Okay. What is children? Record all cash receipts during the year on the debit side under appropriate heading. That means revenue receipts and capital receipts. There is a chance of asking questions as write some revenue receipts or some capital receipts. What are the revenue receipts? Subscription, entrance fees, general donations, grant in aid, sale of old newspaper, interest on investment, dividend, locker rent received, Then sundry receipts. Okay. What are the capital receipts? Life membership fees, donation for specific purpose, legacies, endowment fund, sale of fixed asset, sale of investment, receipts for specific purpose fund, interest on specific fund. Okay, children. Now, all receipts, cash receipts, both revenue receipts and capital receipts recorded on the debit side. Then credit side. Okay. Then all cash payments during the year are recorded on the credit side. These also recorded under appropriate heading. What is that? Revenue payments and capital payments. Okay. What are the revenue payments? Salaries, revenue payments, recurring. Okay. Salaries, rent paid, electricity charges, postage, rent and taxes, insurance, advertisement, telephone charges, entertainment expenses, audit fees, repairs, upkeep of ground. Upkeep of ground means maintaining ground. Okay. Then conveyance charges, newspapers and periodicals, office expenses, gardening expenses, sundry expenses. All these expenses are recurring expenses and come under the category revenue payments. Okay. Next, capital payments. Fixed assets. What is it? Purchases of fixed asset. Investment made. Okay. Deposit made on investment. Next, repayment of loan. These are the capital payments. What are the capital payments? Fixed asset, that means purchases of fixed asset. Then investment made, not a sale of investment. Sale of investment is a receipt. What is it? Investment made. Then repayment of loan. Children, when we taking loans from the banks, that is a receipt. Repayment of the amount on loan is a payment. Okay, now you got it. Now recorded all revenue payments and capital payments on the credit side. Okay. What is that? First recorded the opening balance, cash balance and bank balance on the debit side. If there is any overdraft, that recorded on the credit side. Okay. Then record all receipts, both revenue receipts and capital receipts on the debit side. Then record all cash payments, both revenue payments and capital payments on the credit side. Okay. Then after that, balance these receipts and payments account. Okay. Then how can we balance? Find the total of debit side. Then find the total of credit side. Okay. How? First find the total of debit side. Then find the total of credit side. Okay. Then identify which side is greater. Okay. Then if the total debit side is more than the credit side, the balancing figure will appear on the credit side. Okay, children, what is? If the total of debit side is more than the credit side, the balancing figure will appear on the credit side. It represents what is? Closing balances of cash in hand and cash at bank. Okay, children, what is? If the debit side is more than that of the credit side, you will get the balancing figure on credit side. Okay, that means credit side is the lighter side. Okay, you will get a balance on the credit side. That balancing figure represents the closing balance of cash in hand and cash at bank. Okay, children, sometimes if the total credit side is more than the debit side, you will get the balancing figure on the debit side. That means your lighter side is debit side. Okay. That balancing figure represents bank overdraft. Okay, children. Now all of you understood this. How can we solve it? First, record the opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank. Not the point. Favorable bank balance recorded on the debit side. If there is any unfavorable bank balance, that means bank overdraft, that must be recorded on the credit side. Okay. Then record all cash receipts on the debit side under appropriate heading and all actual cash payments on the credit side under appropriate heading. Okay, then find the total of both the debit side and credit side. Then identify which side is greater side. Okay, then if the total of debit side is more than the credit side, the balancing figure will appear on the credit side and it represents the closing balance of cash or bank. Children, if the total of the credit side is more than the debit side, the balancing figure will appear on the debit side and it represents bank overdraft. Okay children, while solving one problem, you will get more idea. Question. From the following particulars of Tamil Educational Society, prepare receipts and payments account for the year ended 31st March 2019. Opening cash balance as on 1st April 2018, 18,000. Rent paid 6,000. Scholarship given 15,200. Entrance fees received 18,500. Building purchased 2,10,000. Staff salary 55,000 and subscription received 2,65,000. From these particulars, you are required to prepare receipts and payments account of Tamil Educational Society. Draw receipts and payments account. Write the title Receipts and Payments Account of Tamil Educational Society for the year ended 31st March 2019. Show the abbreviation DR on the debit side, CR on the credit side. First, enter the opening balance on the debit side as to balance brought down. Here only the cash balance given. So, enter on the debit side to balance brought down 18,000. Then all receipts on the debit side. What are the receipts? Rent paid, it is payment. Scholarship given, it is payment. Entrance fees received, it's a receipt. Okay, so enter on the debit side as 2 entrance fees 18,500. Next, buildings purchased, it is a payment. Staff salary, it is also payment. Then subscription received, it is a receipt. Enter on the debit side 2 subscription received. Okay children, what are the debit side items? 2 balance brought down 18,000, 2 entrance fees received 18,500, then 2 subscription received 2,65,000. Okay, then enter all payments on the credit side. Okay, how? By. Okay, by rent paid 6,000, by scholarship given 15,200, by building purchase 2,10,000, by staff salary 55,000. Now we entered all receipts and payments on receipts and payments account. Okay. Then find the balance. How? Find the total of debit side and write that with pencil. What is that? 3,01,500. Then find the total of credit side. Write that amount also with the pencil. Okay. What is that? 2,86,200. Then find the difference. Here debit side is greater than credit side. Find the difference. The difference is 15,300. Write the difference on the lighter side. That means on the credit side just above the grand total. And write by balance carry down. Again write cash in hand. What is it? No bank balance given. So it is the closing balances of cash. Okay. Write cash in hand 15,300. Okay children. Then next question. From the following particulars of Trichy Educational Society, prepare receipts and payments account for the year ended 31st December 2018. Question is given. You are required to prepare receipts and payments account. So, draw the account, write the title, Receipts and Payments Account of Trichy Educational Society for the year ended 31st December 2018. First, enter the opening balance on the debit side. Only the cash balance given. So, enter as to balance brought down. Amount 20,000. Then, all receipts on the debit side. What are the receipts? Donation received. Enter as 2 donation received. 2 local rent received. 2 sale of furniture. 2 subscription received. Okay, now we entered all receipts on the debit side. Then come to the credit side. Enter payments on the credit side. Investment made. Children, I already told you. Sale of investment is received. Investment made means payment. Okay, enter on the credit side. By investment 80,000. By honorarium paid 3,000. By audit fees 2,000. By general expenses 7,000. By postage 1,000. Now we entered all receipts on the debit side, all payments on the credit side. Then find the balance. Find the total of debit side. Debit side total is 1,27,000. Then find the total of credit side. Credit side total is 93,000. Then debit side is greater. Find the difference. 34,000 is the difference. Write the difference on the lighter side. That means on the credit side. And write by balance carry down. What is it? It is the closing balance of cash in hand. Okay, children. Solve exercise first and second. Let me explain the question. From the information given below, prepare receipts and payments account of Kurinji Sports Club for the year ended 31st December 2018. Cash in hand. It is the opening cash balance. Children, draw the account. First enter the opening cash balance as to balance brought down. Amount 4,000. Then all receipts on the debit side. 2 life membership fees received 10,000. 2 subscription received 15,000. 2 rent received 2,000. 2 locker rent received 1,000. 2 tournament received 14,000. Okay, we entered all receipts. Then credit side all payments by salaries paid, by printing charges, by tournament expenses, by investment purchased. Then find the balance. You will get a cash balance 5,000. Okay. Debit side is greater than credit side. Debit side total 46,000 and credit side total 41,000. The difference 5,000 is the closing cash balance. Enter that on the credit side as by balance carry down. Again write cash in hand 5,000. Okay, children. Next question. Children, as a student, you need not classify the transactions as revenue and capital. According to the given information, you can do that in your account. Okay, according to the given order, you should do that in your account. Okay, you need not classify revenue and capital. Okay, then see the next question. From the information given below, prepare receipts and payments account of Coimbatore Cricket Club for the year ending 31st March 2019. Write the title. Receipts and payments account of Coimbatore Cricket Club for the year ending 31st March 2019. Children, see the question. Here bank overdraft 1st April 2018 is given. Cash in hand also given. Okay. Cash in hand has debit balance. Enter that on the debit side as to balance brought down. In bracket cash in hand, write the amount 1000. Okay. Then bank overdraft. Overdraft means credit balance. So enter on the credit side as by balance brought down amount 6000. Okay children, got it? How? First enter the opening balance. Here bank balance and cash balance given. Cash in hand debit balance. Enter on the debit side as to balance brought down 1000. Okay. Bank balance. Overdraft balance is given. Overdraft balance shown on the credit side as by balance brought down amount 6000. Okay. Then enter all receipts on the debit side. What are the receipts? Subscription received. Children, see the question. Here 3 years, previous year, current year, subsequent year, subscriptions given. Okay children, I already told you all receipts and payments whether relating to the previous, current or subsequent year will be included. Okay, you need not consider the year while doing that receipts and payments account. All receipts and payments whether relating to the previous, current or subsequent year will recorded on the receipts and payments account. Okay, so same as the transaction what given in your question, you should do in your account book. Okay, how? First enter subscription received, inner column previous year 500, then current year 9600, then subsequent year 400, underline outer column 10500. Okay children, got it? How? First debit side to balance brought down cash in hand, outer column 1000, then to subscription received, inner column previous year 500, current year 9600, subsequent year 400, underline amount in outer column 10500. Okay, then next receipt. What is the next receipt? Match fund receipt. To match fund 5200, to legacies received 2000. Okay children, that much only receipt. Okay, got it? Then next come to the credit side. Opening balance of bank overdraft we already recorded. The next payment. Wages paid for ground maintenance. It's a payment. Enter on the credit side by wages 2000. Next, see children, wages yet to be paid 2200. Okay. Children, you need not take this amount. Okay. What is it? Why? What is the reason? I already told you only the actual receipts and payments are included in receipts and payment account. Wages yet to be made. Is it actual payment? No children, it is not actually made. What is it? It is an outstanding expense. Okay, we are responsible to give this amount later in future. So you need not take it. It is not a payment. Okay, wages yet to be paid. It's an outstanding amount. We are responsible to give this amount later in future. Okay, only the actual payments are recorded. Actual receipt and actual payments are recorded on receipts and payment. Okay, wages yet to be paid. Okay, that's a need not take. Okay, what is that? Accrued income, outstanding expenses you need not take in receipts and payments account. Okay, so no need to take wages yet to be paid in our receipts and payments account. Okay children. Then next payment, interest on loan paid. Okay, how? By interest on loan 2000. Next by honorarium paid 2800. Next by water and electricity charges 700. Next by match expenses 2600. Next by sports material purchase 1900. Children, next children, donation received for pavilion, that is the receipt, you should enter on the debit side. Okay, then cash balance. Children, cash balance, closing cash balance is given in the question. Okay. So, you should enter that on the credit side as buy balance carry down. Then write cash balance amount 300 in outer column. Okay. In your textbook that are written in inner column, you need not write in inner column. You should write that in outer column. Otherwise, you will be confused. Okay. How? Write to balance carry down. Then next line cash balance, write the amount in outer column 300. Okay. Children, let me to say once more. What is that? Credit side item, buy balance brought down 6,000. Next, buy wages 2,000. Next, buy interest on loan 2,000. Next, buy honorarium paid 2,800. Next, buy water and electricity charges 700. Buy match expenses 2,600. Buy sports material 1,900. Then buy balance carry down. Then cash balance 300. Okay. Then find the total of debit side and credit side. Debit side, let me say once more. Debit side item, 2 balance brought down 1,000. 2 subscription received. Previous year inner column 500. Current year 9,600. Subsequent year 400. Underline the amount in outer column 10,500. Next, 2 match fund 5,200. 2 legacies 2,000. 2 donation received for pavilion 2,000. Okay. Then find the balance. Debit side total 20,700. Credit side total 18,300. Balancing figure 2,400. Write 2,400 on the credit side and write bank balance. Okay, children. Thank you.